Hello, my name is Musa, and in this tutorial we're making this a part of a web page layout with these small images in a kind of unique random structure with Rome text as an overlay, and of course this is themed around Rome. We're also covering how to make these dome shaped images inspired by the architecture of Rome using Figma as well as Photoshop. So 2 examples. I will be using CSS Grid to create this structure, and it's completely responsive, as you can see. You could take this further as well by maybe adding scroll effects, changing the timing of each element. Hopefully you will learn something from this tutorial, and let's begin. So I'm just in my course file called Rome. So I'm just in my course file Rome tutorial. We have an index HTML, link to our CSS. That's what we have, and of course the boilerplate defaults. We have the SCSS folder for our SAS files, and if you don't understand what this setup is or how I've set it up, which I'll just show you now. There's a CSS folder there. I've got a tutorial on how I set this up in VS Code. So let's just open this live server. We've got this set up, so we've got it all set up now. Just the images to deal with. I mean, you can use any text editor you want. It doesn't have to be VS Code, but you know, it is a good one to use. So you have our images, and I got the images of Rome from Unsplash. So just type in, I think I got a few from Pixabay. So yeah, I just picked out a few, and I'm just going to show you how I did this sort of dome effect here, which is sort of playing on the visual language of Rome. You know, this sort of Colosseum and everything. That's where I got this sort of visual language from. So start off with Figma. Make a rectangle first. Use a rectangle tool. Say about just using this one for reference. And then, so that's 179. Oh. Is that 179? Oh, 178. Let's just make this 178. Yep. Then that. Just put that there. Use the union selection to unify it. Then use a mask. Now it's in its own layer. Bring the image in. There we have it. Same sort of process in Photoshop. We have your image, new folder, 2 new folders, files, layers. Then let's go rectangle first. Let's just do 500 width, 500. Now I have the ellipse. Then we do 500 again, 500 again. There we are. Let's just merge these two layers together. Merge visible. Oh, another one. Merge shapes. So click on right click and mask, and there we are. Easy peasy. So back to the code. So let's start with the nav. I've got emit enabled, so that's how I can do this. This nav is just for more content. It's not really doing much besides that. Let's take a look at what we got. We've got a logo. We have this for reference as well. So you can always just refer back to this if need be. So let's do then we're going to have a class of call one for this. Then we're going to have 3 columns. One, 2, 3. 2 is for the row and the font bit in the middle. So let's just go into the first one. And we do times 3. Then we have okay. The images folder, 1 PNG. And the second one's going to be a JPEG. And the third one, in my case, anyway. Just going to copy. All these 3 again. Pretty much the same process for the third one. Then we're just going to do 4, 5, 6 JPEG. PNG and a JPEG. Let's see what we get. Now that's lovely. Now that's it for the HTML for now. Well, hopefully. Now we just need to go into main. Actually, just before that, we actually want to get a font. So I picked out this one from Google Fonts. add that in. Use whatever font you want. I'll have that part of the body. Then for the body as well, we're going to have like a black colour. 9. Oh, sorry, I mean a beige colour. Like a really light tint. We're just going to have some default settings, but I'm just going to copy this in because it gets pretty tedious doing over and over. We're going to have images. We're going to have max width, this to make it responsive. See what we get. Lovely. Nothing yet. Then we're going to import the other two files. So I'm just going to import them underneath, just so they're stacked up top of each other. Okay. Now let's sort out the nav. I'm just going to show you how this unfolds. So we're in the nav file. Width. So display grid. Then grid template columns. Auto for the first one, because remember there's three divs. Then there's one FR for the middle to make a gap. Then auto again. As you can see, splits it, and that's the one FR, the gap, one fragment. Then them two are auto. Inside that, so div display flex. Then the A auto do like a dark color. Okay, and then now targeting individual divs to make the space on left to right of them. Pretty much the same process. There we done for the nav. So that's it for that. Now for the structure. which is how we're going to do this effect. Yeah. Okay. So base called main container. There we go, width. So the same process before to make it responsive. So display grid, auto, 1FR, auto. So that's 1FR, auto, second one, and 1FR. Row, the text will be in the middle for column 2. But for the images, it's going to be in column 1 and 3. Let's target column 1 first. I'm going to do the block. So each block, so each one of these is block. See? Block, block. Go back here. Child 1. I'm going to target the image. It's now a block as well. An actual block, not a class block. So the width of the first image is going to be 200. I'm going to target second block class and the third. So first two, that was for 240. And then for column 3, which is the third one, which is this here. I'm actually going to zoom this in as well. You can see. Is three, 1, 2, 3. There we have it. Now the split, and the images are forgot to add the margin here, so if you need to add one of the pictures at the bottom. This is now going to center it. Now for targeting column 1 and 3, we're going to make them equal heights now. So column 1, column 3. Just going to show you. So they're all stacked up, same space and all that. Now display grid, auto makes it equal, and the width at full height is quite a big screen, so it's about like 2000 pixels. So that'll be, so that is aligned with this height 1400 in my case anyway. So they're all equal in their own sort of way. And then the block inside, so each column, the block, I'm going to make that display grid as well, because we're going to target each one and sort of move it around using the self-align sort of tools. But just to go back to here, it's doing equal, then the last one will be sort of figuring out for herself, if you know what I mean. So these two will be equal, then the last one, the odd one, will just be whatever size is left. So that's how I was calculating it. Just to go back to that. Now back to call one. And now because we use display grid, for both of them, we can start to change the images. So for the actual first one, I'm just going to add padding top 20 pixels. You don't have to add anything fancy to each one, so let's just add a 20 pixel gap there. Then we're going to add the second one, we're going to add justify self end, and these are CSS Grid properties. If you go to CSS Grid here and check this out, this is sort of, it'll explain it, everything's here about CSS Grid. So it's CSS tricks and get guide to grid. Okay, let's have a look at the first one, first column. You see, now it's sort of made it into this sort of random shapes sort of thing, which is what we want. You know, you can change it up however you want. I'm just giving you an idea of how you can do something like this. Now to column 3, image 1. Let's actually see this in more of a real-time scenario. There we are. That's all we're doing for that one. Then again here. Just to go back here, I'm just going to have a look at Oh, this one's, yeah. Okay. This is more zoomed in as well now. That's why it kind of looks a bit more spaced out. Or now to focusing on responsiveness now. So up here, we're going to add variable of mobile. And the rest now is going to be how to make it responsive. Because as you can see, when we go to mobile, completely changes. Do more of a realistic sort of height. Then that kind of snaps, and as you can see, sort of smoothly changes. Okay, back to this. Mobile 601. Got that sorted. Go to column 1 and 3. So just underneath here, we're going to add media only. So what we're doing here is we're targeting the widths. They're making it the widths are going to be changed. Manual. I was looking for the right word. Just copying that. Width. Auto. 300. This is mobile. We should have set up, which is 600. Max width of 1001, 1002. So now at 1000, there's 500, 500, and 1200. It will go down. As you can see, and at 1000, it will go down. Oh, I should do now. Unless it's already at 300. Oh, it's because I'm zoomed in. Sorry. There we are. Okay. That's sorted now. Mobile's going to be auto. Now for the main container. So, like I said, we're focusing on responsiveness right now. So main container is going to be just underneath here. So we're targeting the height now at 1401, and the width it's going to be changed at that rate as well. So but that typically that would to do with the browsers that are more shaped like this on a small desktop or even a tablet. Again, do media and mobile. Let's copy these again. Give it 100%. Make this auto. So still nothing. This is what we're going to have to do next. But just before that, we're actually going to add text in the middle. You'll see. Forgot to put Rome here actually. Silly me. Yeah, so now in the middle here, forgot to put Rome. We need to put Rome div h1 and then we have O M E. So there we are, have the Rome here. Then it's sort of wedged between these two now. Now that's the next focus. Let's go back to structure and to col 2 in between these two. So we'll go col 2. Then let's do display and because this span is already sort of side by side. And then this is the center in the middle. Margin auto. Then go black color. There it's in the center. Now we need to style it a bit. Font. There we have it. We're going to make it bigger soon. Because we're actually going to make it responsive, so I'll show you a technique of how to do that. Font family, font size, sorry. Then let's actually remove the outline here, so we don't really need that anymore. Then here we're going to add and so 6 rem, then it's with an outline and it's wedged in the middle. So now what we need to do, because if you see now, what we want ideally is to have Rome overlaid the whole thing, but it's not, because it's in between. So to do that, because everything now is display grid, we'll go back to column 1, because it's part of the main container, which is a grid. We need to make that grid column 1. So grid column 1 here. Then we're going to span 1. And we're also going to take 1 row, because this is a 3 column but 0 rows. But we still need to add that in. So back to here. So we're in grid column 1. We're going to span 1. We're not going further than 1. We're going to go to grid out to rows 1. There's only 1 anyway. Span 1. Then number 3, which we're going to target next, will be here, span 1. So essentially what we're doing actually is it's just adding it in how it is, but the reason why we're doing this is so we can have an overlay of the second one, which we're going to do next. Again, grid column 1, I'm going to span 3, so it's going over all 3. And well, yeah, to be fair, that's why it's apparent, because now it's over 3. So over 3 now. Then just to give it a Z index, just to make it more robust, so it's over everything. Now it's over everything now. And make the font as you can see, the font is now not responsive, so that's what we're going to do next. I'll show you a trick how to do that. So we go here, we go root, font size, and observe this bit here now. 1 VW, 1 VH dot 25 EM VEM. So that's viewport, view height, view min. There we are. Now it's responsive. Let's take this off. Now we know These are spans, individual ones. Now to making the mobile. These now need to be responsive. I mean, sort of create them like this, so spaced apart. You know, over going off some of it, so making it exciting for the mobile as well as the desktop. So you need to do two, as usual. So this will go underneath column 1. The mobile width, which is 600. Then we're just gonna copy this 3 times because we're going to target each one, and so I'll do nuances for each one. Three. Then here we're going to add. Let's just have a look at it in mobile. Zoom in a bit. Okay, so let's give 0 padding at the top. It's quite a long process this, but you know, you are making it responsive and making it a bit more interesting for 10 actually here. For mobile as well as desktop. Because this is display grid, so that's why I can do that. But we're also giving a position relative to make it look even more interesting. And that makes it go off sort of the screen with this. Again here. This is the image 2 now, making it smaller. Justify content, justify self, sorry. If it's not the height, it'll be the, if not the horizontal, it'll be the vertical. Making a bit of a gap between them. Kind of the same area. And third one now. Let's do width 280. Position relative. So we move that to the left a lot more. Don't know why that isn't getting affected. I think it's because limit in. Yep. Okay. Now back. It's gone free. Same kind of process, but not as much. Then, yeah, pretty much it. A few things to say about that. That's the bulk of it anyway. So, let's go. Let's just copy this one now. Go back to free. Then make this mobile. Then copy this. So we're going to mirror it. So now we're targeting this in the third column there. Then we need to go back to sorting out the mobile responsiveness as well for this to make this sort of effect. To be fair, I did that because I can figure out how to style it better on mobile. Okay, so here, line self and that's kind of moving away. But it's creating this sort of space here as well. You're still creating sort of gaps and small pockets. And that's done the second one now. Probably doing here we added too much padding sub. Don't matter. On to the third one. Let's see what we get now. So that's just gone off. There we go. Center. Lovely. Now, you need to sort out this font. So we need to go back to column 2. Inside the H1. Then we go mobile. We're making this now, just to be clear. Making it a bit smaller. Can't make it bigger, to be fair, but now it's to play effects. Made a room. Now the span, because these are all spans. Each one's a span. I need to go span and child even. I'm going to use transform. Translate X 20 pixels. Then we do, so that's the even ones. No, two odd ones. There, that's done that. That one, I don't know which one looks better. I don't know why this one's like that. Oh yeah, it's fine. Okay, pretty much done. Just want to show you one thing. So we can make these images a lot smaller at certain heights. So that's all I'm going to do next. Just quickly. So if you go to call 1, image 2, I mean, you're probably on might be on a smaller screen, so I don't know. You might just want to do this in the. Well, you definitely will need to do this. So that's for that one. And then it's for column 3, image 1. Make that 280. So I just made it smaller than mobile. Just two things I need to change is this is too low, the last image, so I'm just going to make the height 1200, so you can see it in view. And for mobile, overflow hidden needs to be added like that, so it doesn't go over the main container. And yeah, there we have it. Thank you for watching. I'll be putting this on my GitHub, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.